Batman was killed, or at least a lot of people seem to think that. The truth is, Batman is in a world without Batman, a Gotham without Batman. Failsafe, the robot that he created to stop himself if he ever went too far and killed someone, has warped Batman to the one place he was needed. A Gotham without Batman, a world for Batman to save. Last time we saw Tim Drake's adventure trying to find a way to save Batman, but now we're going to see what Batman is doing in this other world. How Batman is about to be reborn. This is Comicstorian. I make audio dramas of comic books so that you know what's going on in the world of comics. This is Batman 132 and Batman 133. After getting himself fixed up, Bruce follows Jewel to a small safe house where many of Gotham's residents are hiding out, living the best life that they can. But no one is safe. No one really. Bruce spots Jewel after welcoming some more people in, asking if everything is all right. She tells him, yeah, just. Adrenaline gets her through fighting the cops and the judges. But afterwards, her chest, it gets tight, shaky. Jimbo thinks for a second, telling him, Lord knows that you need another Robin. So how about Panic Attack? Batman and Panic Attack. Nice ring for it, right? Jewel notices Bruce staring off and asks if he sees things. But Bruce says that it's mild hallucinations from multiversal travel. Jewel laughs, telling him that that's not it, Mr. Multiverse. It's called Crane Brain, a gas that's being pumped into the city that gives Arkham's goons more of a reason to commit people. Jewel hands Bruce a few pills, telling him to take one of these in the morning and it'll set him straight in a few days. Bruce asks if everyone takes these. Jewel says only if they can get them. Only people who don't need them are sealed off in Athena Tower. Ironically, since the place that makes the pills is there too. Halliday Industries. Bruce tries to think, but the name isn't familiar. If they are this world's Wayne Enterprises, maybe they have what he needs to get home. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a receptionist is looking at her paper, stating that she is sorry, but office hours are clearly. She then quickly stops herself when she sees who is walking in. A man in white with a red mask tells her, "It's okay. I'll see myself to the judge's quarters. No need to let him know." Receptionist stammers. Of course, Red Mask, sir." Red Mask continues on into a room where Dent is sitting around a group of bodies, stating that he made quite a mess. Shouldn't these men be with him in Arkham? Red Mask continues into the room where Dent is sitting around a group of bodies. "You made quite a mess. Shouldn't these men be inside of Arkham?" Dent says that these men aren't insane. They were criminals. They needed to be punished. Red Mask makes a joke about a dead man walking all over Dent, but Dent retaliates, yelling that it wasn't Bruce Wayne. "He was a creature who took his face and..." Just then, Red Mask presses a button and Dent's body begins to withdraw from the venom. Red Mask says that he will not tolerate any aggression towards him. Dent's body reverts back to its benign, small, and frail frame. And Red Mask presses the button again, telling him, "Remember, I can take it all away, Dent. Now, do me a favor and fix all of your mistakes, creature or man. Bring me Bruce Wayne, or the final verdict will be on you." Back at the safe house, Jewel explains a bit more about the Halliday Industries. That is currently led by a man named Darwin Halliday. That he is one of the only ones fighting back against Arkham's hold over the city. Bruce asks how he can get in touch with this Darwin person, and Jewel says, "Be rich." He's a recluse in Athena. But one false step outside and Arkham will make an example out of him. Bruce says that he could pretend to be rich. Jewel says that there's a fundraising gala in the tower next week. If he can pretend well enough, well, that'll be his best bet. In the coming days, Jewel manages to secure a fake ID and needed supplies to let Bruce slip in as one of the rich individuals. Luckily for him, pretending to be a billionaire playboy is something that he's done before. But as he mingles with the crowd, someone overhears his mention of wanting to meet Halliday, and then introduces herself. Bruce looks back and sees Selina Kyle, but not his Selina, the one of this world, reminding himself that this isn't his Selina. As the two begin to get close, Bruce goes to say his fake name, but Selina says dead before he could say it. Or at least, "You're supposed to be, Mr. Wayne." Bruce asks, "Haven't you always wanted a fresh start? Wash away your old life and fall into the unknown?" She laughs. "My life isn't a trap. I am the trap. Besides, I already thought you had your fresh start. The billionaire playboy who gave it all away to become a social worker. An insane idea. Arkham thought so too. So what's your game?" Bruce keeps up the act, stating that he made mistakes and needs his life back. And he needs help doing it. He's looking for Darwin Halliday. Selina motions to the second floor, stating that if he thinks Gotham's golden boy can keep him out of Arkham, he may need to pay tribute and see what he says. Bruce looks up at the balcony, and within a few seconds, a man turns to look down, and immediately, Bruce knows this world's Darwin Halliday is his world's Joker. Bruce breaks away. I'm sorry, I need to. And Selina pulls out her whip, grabbing a hold of him, telling him that it's been too long since he's been in upper polite society. You must have forgotten your manners, Mr. Wayne. Before Bruce could even fight Selina off, there's a sudden crash as a large woman barrels through the wall, telling Selina to hold him. Bruce barely has enough time to realize that this woman is just a venom-enhanced punchline. Bruce rushes towards Selina to break free, barely managing to get hit by any of Punchline's attacks, delivering one of his own in the form of a small knife, and then suddenly he's struck down by a scaly fist. I just took out Crimson. Bruce tries to fight him, but seeing his attacks do nothing, he's left with only one choice. He takes out a small bottle, throwing the liquid on Croc. Before Croc could realize what it is, Bruce lights a match, tossing it, and a flaming Croc runs out of the window. Bruce then turns to get ready and fight whoever's next, and as he looks through the crowd, he sees another familiar face, one that causes him to pause. Alfred. While Alfred is dead in his world, this Alfred is very much alive. But in that brief moment where he is stunned, Selina attacks again, Bruce going on the defensive against both Selina and Crimson, and quickly losing the fight. One of the guards fires a shot, hitting Bruce in the shoulder, causing him to stumble back and fall out the window. But using a makeshift rope, Bruce manages to catch himself. With the only option being to climb back up into the party or jumping, Bruce decides the best way to escape is down. He lets go of the rope, leaping over another abandoned building. After crashing through the skylights, Bruce picks himself back up, but in the alleyway that he has fallen down into, he hears an officer beating on a person. That officer looks over. Who the hell are you? Get lost or you'll be next. Bruce grits his teeth, throwing himself in, unable to not help someone in need. Even though he takes a few hits himself, he gets the job done. And then he lays on the floor, realizing something. Every Gotham is his Gotham. He wants to go home, but the people of this Gotham, they need his help to strike fear into the people who need it. The skeleton Jimbo that only Bruce can see looks down at him. So, strike fear. Bruce looks over at the hanging bat. Yes, Gotham. I shall become the Bat. The next night, a young boy sits in an abandoned warehouse crying as a venom-juiced Riddler asks his riddle. I'm as cold as death, but I live. I'm never thirsty, but always drinking. What am I? The young boy says that he doesn't know, and Riddler says, Go fish, tisk tisk. Signs of cognitive decline in such a young age will fix you in Arkham. But as Riddler looks at the next child to conduct his test, everyone hears a shuffling in the rafters. Riddler pays it no mind as he looks back at the children, when suddenly there's a thud, followed by screams and calls for help. His attention is fixated on where the noises are coming from. An officer is dropped and hung by his feet as Batman looks at him. Edward Nigma! The Riddler begins to shoot, shouting, How do you know my name? Stay back! Riddler grabs a child as a shield and a batarang is thrown into his hands. Batman says, I know many things, and I know how to hurt you. The child breaks free running and Riddler looks at him. Who are you? Batman looks him back down. I'm everyone who's ever been hurt. I am their vengeance. I am Batman! Later, Selina visits Red Mask in his lab, telling him that they have a problem. A Bruce Wayne problem. Which is not Bruce Wayne. He's a good fighter and quite possibly the one who beat up the Riddler, while dressed as a bat. Red Mask takes out the picture of the Riddler in his hospital bed. Selina goes on stating that his Riddler creep was testing on children. She told him before she'd go along with his perverse cleanup, but she had one rule: no children. But before she could finish that sentence, Red Mask moves at superhuman speeds, punching Selina twice, telling her, Children are our most precious commodity and are the fastest growing demographic of mental health disorders. You work for me. There is no deal. Now, do what I ask and bring me Bruce Wayne. Bring me this Batman. But as the word Batman begins to spread, the criminals whisper of his existence, and the people begin to think twice. However, if this world didn't have a Batman, that would mean that there wouldn't have been a Bruce Wayne. But that is exactly what Batman has to uncover. What happened to this Bruce Wayne? He begins to dig up the grave marked Bruce Wayne, and he pulls the lid off the coffin. He does find himself in there, and that's when he hears the cocking of a gun and a voice asking, "Who are you?" Bruce looks over, telling the man, "I know who you are. You're Alfred." Batman removes his cowl, and Alfred is furious. "Master Wayne is dead. I came back to see my boy to make sure his grave was still, and someone is desecrating." Batman steps out. "I am Bruce Wayne. As crazy as it sounds, I'm from another universe. Alfred Pennyworth from my universe was a kind man who stood up to evil, and you're here to do just that." Batman begins to pull his body out. "I'm sorry to do this, but I must find out what killed your Bruce Wayne. I'll do everything in my power to make things right, because an Alfred Pennyworth raised me." Later back at the hospital, Jewel looks around the corner stating that no one is coming, but they need to be quick. Batman looks to her. "I appreciate your help." Jewel asks if he started one of these in his world. The Bruce Wayne here gave up his entire fortune and put it into places like this. It was the Wayne mission: food, shelter, medical. He then became a social worker. But looks like you had other things to spend your money on. Batman tells her that he did similar things in his world, plus this. He is a highly functioning multitasker. At that moment, the computer beeps, and as Batman reads the charts, he says that this Bruce Wayne was poisoned. Lung damage indicates gas. And there's something else. There's traces of multiversal energy. Jewel asks, what does that mean? Does that mean that this Bruce Wayne was from another universe as well? As Batman goes to answer, there's a rumble. Outside, Judge Dent orders his officers to cut off the block and bring the man to him. Back inside, Batman tells Jewel to go ahead and alert the staff. Help the residents get out. Jewel asks, what about him? What is he going to do? Batman begins to walk outside. I'm going to get some answers. Outside, the officers are getting ready to kick the doors in when a smoke grenade is thrown down, and several of the officers are knocked to the ground. As the smoke begins to clear, Dent yells to find him. And Batman asks, Find me? Harvey. I'm everywhere. I'm Gotham! Dent turns to make his way towards Batman, pumping in more of the venom, and as he charges in with one well-placed kick, Batman knocks him off balance. But rather than dodging the next attack, Batman lets it hit, knowing the lucky shot makes people cocky. And his plan worked. Dent turns to grab a car, lifting the entire car over his head to crush Batman. But as Dent looks down, he sees Batman smiling as he holds a cable that is tied to his leg, and he pulls. The car falls back onto Dent, and he goes to pull himself out, growling, asking, Do you dare stand in the way of justice? But Batman punches him. I am justice! The punches don't stop, and as the officers stare and watch, Batman asks, what are they waiting for? What are you waiting for? Tell me everything about Arkham. Tell me what you know about Darwin Holiday. But Dent has a hard time even remembering his own name. A voice tells him that the judge doesn't know anything. He just takes orders, unlike her. Bruce looks up to see Selina standing there, and he tells her that he doesn't have time for games. She says that she doesn't know anything about Holiday, but she does know about Arkham and the man running it, Red Mask. Batman pauses for a moment, reminding himself that this is not his Selina, so can he trust her? He asks who is Red Mask, but she says that she couldn't say, and she doesn't even really care. He could be another Bruce Wayne for all that matters, but he runs Arkham and runs the city. And Red Mask, he needs to be stopped. As Selina turns, Batman grabs her arm, and she pulls away, telling him not to touch her. Batman asks, Does he control you like he controls the others? Are you using me to eliminate your enemy? She glares for a moment. His little experiments offend me. If he disappeared, I wouldn't shed a tear. Later, the two of them make their way through the city just as Batman did with Catwoman, familiar, yet different. But she does mention something that he has already confirmed. The gas being used must be linked to the multiversal energy. As they reach the sewer system, Batman says that he was expecting her to take him to Arkham Asylum. And Selina asks, Asylum? You must have been dead longer than I thought. That place closed up years ago. Red Mask replaced it. A lot of people don't know it, but there's a whole world under the city where the discarded go, where the insane are regulated to. You'll find Red Mask and is infected here, in the Arkham Caves. I hope you guys enjoyed this particular segment. Very, very soon, as in like probably tomorrow, we're going to be bringing you the finale to the storyline, Batman in the Batverse. If you want to see it, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when that goes live. And I'll give you a link to the original failsafe story that came up before this and part 1 where we see how Tim is trying to save Batman. Thank you for the continued support, and I will see you next time right here.